there, and thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I want to continue exploring the MPC's capabilities both as a music production machine and as a live performance companion for a singer-songwriter kind of like me. As I'm sure happens to a lot of you out there, I often face myself with writer's block. And when that happens, instead of just banging my head against the wall, one of the solutions that I found is just to grab another song that I like and try making a cover of it. And that really helps out because not only do you learn a new song, but you can also figure out some chord relations or how somebody approached the melodies. And it's really interesting to just learn from the music itself. The song that I'm going to cover today is Someone You Love by Lewis Capaldi, or Louis Capaldi. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. This song is beautiful. It's really intimate. It's really heartfelt. And I don't want to embellish it too much. I'm not going to turn it into a hip-hop song or anything. I just want to add a few touches of flavor from the MPC so I can make a live performance that's kind of compelling. So let's begin with the main riff. What I'm doing here is I'm playing the root and the bass note, and I'm playing the third and the fifth on the melody. Now, what's funny is I covered this very same thing in a video like 2 videos ago, where I recently realized that in professional music, or in the tracks that I most love, you usually break up the chords, so it's not just... Sounds like a Beatles song, but you get what I mean. It's way more interesting if you break it up. So the piano bit is essential for the mood of this song, so I'm gonna go into my stage piano plugin, one of my favorites here. And I'm gonna look for a nice preset. Now I already know kind of what I'm looking for, so let's go into soft. And let's see, lightly a flutter. Let's see how that sounds. A bit too, a bit too lo-fi for me. Let's see, soft and hard. Intimate grand. Now we're talking. Kind of got a little bit of reverb into that, and I'm gonna give it a bit more level. Let's hear that. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but the pianos on the stage piano plugin on the MPC are just phenomenal. Okay, so with that part down, I want something like a synth pad. You know, I love synths. Hence the name, Midlife Synthesis. But the original song has this intimate quality that I really love, and I don't want to mess it up by orchestrating it too much. So I'm gonna add myself a new track, select plugin, and I'm gonna go search for my baby, where are you, Jura. Okay, so I'm gonna look for a synth pad, but I don't want to make it into an 80s kind of thing either. So let's see, pads, pad soft, tape strings. Might be a bit too intrusive for what I'm looking for. Soft trim. Can you believe this is a plugin? Back in the 80s, baby, back in the 80s. Let's see. Soft and simple. That sounds promising. Let's see. Nice. I'm gonna up the release a bit. A bit more decay. Give it some more chorus, and see how it looks. And let's see what we can do. Nice. I'm gonna adjust the level a bit so that the synth doesn't eat up the piano. Okay, so now in my head, I have the first verse, the second verse, and now I want the chorus. You know, I want this very intense thing. And one of my favorite plugins on this is actually one of the originals, and it's free. It's the Mellotron. So I'm gonna give myself a new track with a plugin, and that plugin is the old and trusty Mellotron plugin. This, as I said, is very, very old, both the original and the plugin. Okay, that might be a bit too much. Okay, so let's start by giving it a bit more attack. A bit more release. I like the intensity and just the cutoff just a bit, so it doesn't bite as much. Let's see. beautiful. But we're not done with it. See, what I like to do with the mellotron strings is I like to go into the effects, and we're going to give it first just the teensy bit of Air Delay Pro, another one of my lovelies. Let's see, I'm going to turn down the feedback, and let's see how that Don't you just love it when you find sounds that just inspire you? By the way, this is not sponsored by MPC or Akai. I just love this software. This does have a sponsor though, and that's the folks at Analog Cases, the guys that have my MPC at this angle. Analog Cases has a huge line of custom-made cases for the most popular synth and groove boxes, great for traveling and storing your gear safely. They also make XTS stands, which are desktop stands for your gear, which makes your setup way more comfortable to use. Just like this one. The stands come in many sizes, and they now offer a 2-tiered version so you can take your gear to the next level. Thank you so much, Analog Cases, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's move on. The second thing that I'm going to add here is a teensy bit of Air Flavor Pro. Now I'm going to go into the editing, and I like Film Noir. Going to tone down the intensity just a bit, and let's see how this sounds now. Okay, that should be enough. There's one thing missing, and that's the vocals. Let me set this up real quick. Movie magic. So now I'm gonna go into my tracks. I'm gonna give myself a new track, audio track. Now I've been using this a lot lately, so at this point I already have my own effects rack. So I'm gonna go into user effects rack and vocal soft reverb. Now what this is a para EQ, a compressor, air delay, and air reverb. Just the simplest plugins, but it gives me this. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing's really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. And now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Put my guard down, then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of loving's got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to know, somebody to heal, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. And now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I put my guard down, then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. And I kinda close my eyes when it hurts. Sometimes I fall into your arms. I'll be safe and sound till you turn back around. For now the day bleeds unto nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Put my guard down, and you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, or at least entertaining. Have a great week. See you next time.